What kind of Korean webtoon gets your heart racing the most? The genre of martial arts. Being a fan of manga and webcomics, I have yet to be disappointed by a martial arts narrative. These action-packed webtoons are of exceptional quality from the art to the plot and characters, and as the genre's quality standards rise, so does its fanbase. If you're seeking a new intriguing read, then this manhwa list is for you. Here are some new martial arts webtoons to get you through the day. Have a seat and relax. Starting with number 10 on the list, Heavenly Grand Archive's Young Master. One day, the soul of the attractive and intimidating murim alliance leader Hu Gong appears in the body of a darn young man. Biem Hang is the name of the young man. He is the youthful master of the Heavenly Grand Archive, one of the Jianghu's three great archives, yet he is a sad excuse for a guy. Hu Gong begins training Biem Hang's body in order to figure out why his spirit has switched bodies. As the possessed young master of the Heavenly Grand Archive's movements become completely different from how they used to be, the Jianghu becomes interested. This is an excellent martial arts story. The plot and characters are well developed and the artwork is stunning. You should read this if you're seeking a new martial arts manhwa set in the murim universe. Moving to the 9th spot, Moon Shadow Sword Emperor. The plot revolves around the main character who was betrayed by his fellow members of the demonic cult and is regressed after his death. He chooses a different route to power and status, doing less labor as an elder in the Murim Alliance. Yet because he isn't linked with any major sects, he needs to do everything alone. The plot is actually rather well constructed. Although regression has been utilized extensively in the Murim environment, this seems fresh and interesting. Also, the art and characters are rather nice and the battle sequences are excellent. Overall, this is a really great and promising Murim series that feels like it will be one of the major ones in the future, so don't pass it up. Moving to the 8th spot on the list, Martial Streamer. Taemin was a gap year student who electrocuted himself while attempting to become a YouTuber, but he is resurrected as Zhao in a martial arts universe complete with live streaming powers. He begins broadcasting his everyday life in ancient China with the extraordinary ability to access YouTube when he closes his eyes, with the goal of becoming the ultimate trader and martial artist. This is a fascinating martial arts story. The narrative is well paced and the artwork is excellent. It's not the best, but it's certainly above average. The style excels at being expressive. It lends itself to random chibi-style pictures without taking you out of the story. Also, the primary cast is amusing and attractive while still being functional humans. Overall, this is an intriguing martial arts webtoon that you should absolutely check out. Moving to the 7th spot, a modern man who got transmigrated into the Murim world. The main character's family is in financial trouble. He utilizes his expertise from his previous life to expand his father's smithy, taking out loans and employing capitalistic practices. Later, he receives the same red bead he received from his father in his previous life, revealing that he is descended from some famous individuals and their spirits reside in the bead. They assist him in the destruction of their family's adversaries, who are presently the most powerful family in the Murim world. This manhwa is excellent. The main character is astute and makes full use of his current knowledge. Furthermore, the characters are nicely developed. They all stay true to their roles, and the art is visually appealing. Even if you don't enjoy the Murim universe, this is one of the most distinctive Murim manhwas and a narrative that everyone should read. Moving to the 6th spot on the list, Record of Return. The most powerful Gosu in the martial arts world is sealed in ice by 7 legendary martial artists. The main character was liberated after 1,000 years and a lot had changed in him during that time. He's becoming more cheerful. He adopts a dying child and tries to raise her to the best of his ability. This manga is fantastic. The main character is overpowering from the start. His personality is endearing and he never shows pity to his opponents. Also, the art in this novel is fantastic, but it may be a little erratic at times. Yet these tiny flaws do not detract from the overall quality of the manhwa. As a result, this is a highly recommended manhwa. Jumping to the 5th spot, Thousand Sword Techniques. There is bloodshed and despair all over the Murim, which is in complete disarray. The destiny of the entire world has been entrusted to a particular disciple who has 6 masters. The main character is reincarnated in a fat noble child's body. His goal is to prevent bloodshed and protect the Jews and the entire world. He needs to locate the future devil sect leader and defeat him before he gains too much strength to accomplish that. But after being reincarnated, his main obstacle is that he is a fat man who can barely walk. This martial arts novel is really amazing. There is some light humor in it and the art is adorable, at least until the main character loses weight and gets powerful. Also, the secondary characters are quite nicely written. If you're looking for something different in a martial arts narrative, give this a try. Moving to the fourth spot on the list, A Dance of Swords in the Night. Despite being an orphan, Jin Sohan was taken in by the Crescent Moon Sword Dance Group and spent his childhood with those women. But one day, the poison demon, one of the four great evils, recognized Sohan's special physical characteristics and kidnapped him and raised him as his disciple. 10 years later, he tried to look for any trace of the Crescent Moon Sword Dance Group, but they had already disappeared at the hands of the Dark Path, which had control over his hometown. In this narrative, the main character is completely merciless and overpowering from the start. Also, the side characters are wonderfully written and the art is the greatest part. The fight sequences are intense and the world creation is seamless. This manhwa will undoubtedly satisfy your overpowering main character's desires. Moving to the third spot, Returning with Absolutely Nothing. Lee Sungmin, a talentless mercenary, is destined to die in area, but a mysterious item sends him back to the past. Now a 13-year-old with a second chance at life, he begins his desperate journey to become area's strongest with no money or talent. There are numerous regression stories, but this one stands out. The main character is untalented, yet he strives to improve. His entire experience is overflowing with emotions. Also, the art is pretty beautiful and it shines out during combat sequences. Every character is distinct and some of them have fantastic personalities. Overall, the plot is unique, making it an ideal regression type novel to read. Moving to the second spot, Warrior High School Dungeon Raid Department. In the 21st century, Earth has merged with another globe. A new era of dungeons packed with creatures and adventurers raiding them is upon us. Warrior High School is also the most exclusive educational center in South Korea that produces these explorers. Yoo Jar-yeon stumbles across a special adolescent during dungeon smuggling to pay for his unwell father's medical expenses. She has a lot of money and wants him to enter the Warrior High School in order to raise her position there. This is an entertaining dungeon drama with interesting world development. The primary character has a pleasant demeanor, and the other characters are beautifully written. Also, the art is fantastic and it upscales during combat scenes. Only read this if you're looking for a dungeon manga with a lot of drama and action. Reaching the first spot on the list, The Reaper. The main character is abducted by an unknown individual and taken to an isolated chamber where he is fed leftovers and forced to eat moss growing on the walls to live. After some time, he is permitted to leave his chamber when he discovers that he is not the only one in a similar circumstance. The kidnappers want to turn them into vicious killers who can be dumped at any time after serving their purpose. The story of this manhwa is nothing new, but the execution is flawless. The main character is both astute and vicious. He makes his selections after careful consideration. Moreover, the art is superb and the battle sequences are intense. The world is being built very well and the tension in this murimic society between diverse factions is strong. This is a must-try for any fan of martial arts webcomics. That's all we have for today. If you find your next read on this list, then give us a thumbs up and share the video with your friends. Also, give us your suggestions in the comment section below, since it helps us to give you more recommendations and present to you a better content every time. And remember to press the red button for more videos in the near future. Thank you for your time. We'll talk again soon.